ourselves and others. So anyways, I'm going to ask my husband to pray, and then we'll get started.
Heavenly Father, once again we are blessed to bow our heads before you in yet another day of living in this world. We thank you and praise you for the night's rest, for the opportunity to come together. And we ask your Holy Spirit, Lord, to lead, guide, and direct. Convict our hearts, Lord, and we might do the work that you have called us to do. Teach us and guide us now in all that is said and done. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of go over the sections that we're going to go over. So you see that we have a PowerPoint on natural remedies, and I'm just going to highlight a few things. There's so many things I can teach you how to do. I mean, things that you could use, but we don't have all that time. So we're going to go through the PowerPoint, and I'm going to show you a few things, practical, hands-on things. Then we're going to go over, you have two handouts here. One is how to build your immune system during COVID-19. Well, I made that for obvious reasons. We just had so many people that were getting sick, and it's really not that hard to take care of COVID-19, believe it or not. And then you have a handout that says natural remedies for allergies, colds, and flu. There's some information on there. Dr. Rosado talked about the gut microbiome yesterday, and that is a big part of why we have allergies, autoimmune disorders, even things like cancer and depression can find their foundation in our gut. So I'm not going to go over it. I'm going to let you take it home and read it, but you'll find it very fascinating why we have allergies, why do we get all these things. And then there's a protocol there for these symptoms of these things, like the runny nose and the headaches and the watery eyes and all that kind of stuff. We know that it's not going to reverse the disease, only the diet and lifestyle and us being very consistent with how we treat our bodies is really going to keep us from those things. But there's a lot of, natural remedies there. I call them Band-Aids because just like when you cut yourself, you put a Band-Aid over it and then it gets well. These are for symptoms for the most part. And then we're going to get into some hydrotherapy. And I'm not going to go over everything on this handout either. And there's a whole book, a whole section of hydrotherapy treatments in what is called the LIGHT program. It's from Wildwood. It's how's it go? L-I-G-H-T, Global Health Training, and Lay Institute of Global Health Training. We are an affiliate with them, and so if you want information on a full-fledged program where you can actually do it online, you can contact us and we'll get you the information about that. In addition, yeah, we can get you a discount on the price of that. In addition to that, I have up here, it's a list of, it's my natural remedies kit list. This is not an exhaustive list, but it will get you going so that you can have, oops, I'm sorry. This is the tote that I use to put my stuff in. And I can actually go to somebody's home if they're sick and I can do a treatment for them. I can do it for myself. I don't have to run to the doctor. If we learn these things, and I think insurance has really done us a disservice because, at the slightest little hint of something, we're running to the doctor because it only costs $4, or, whatever. And then you go to the drugstore and it only costs $5. And it's destroying our bodies, what we're doing with the doctor and with, the prescription medication. So if we can get in the mindset that I can run to my natural remedies kit and do things for myself, then it's going to be a lot better. And we know as God's people today that very shortly we are not going to have access to doctors and prescriptions and, all these things. So we've got to really get our mindset going in the right direction right now, because we see the writing on the wall, we see all the politics and all these things that are going on. So it's really important right now to start doing these things. Okay, So we're going to get into natural remedies. This is my information, but we've got cards over there. So why do we want to use natural medicine anyways? I've kind of alluded to some reasons. We want to be prepared for the end times. We want to do things that are more natural, that aren't going to have the consequences, the side effects that we get through medication. I'm not saying medication doesn't have its place. I don't typically tell people to get on medication. They usually come to me on the medication, and I want to get them using something more natural in place of the medication, and then wean them off. I don't tell anybody to get off the medication when I see them, because they're under another doctor's care. But I do try to help them wean off and do some more natural things. Of course, natural medicine is cheap. You know, an onion, you're going to see just how powerful an onion can be. You know, garlic, all these things, honey. So it's cheap, it's effective, it really works, and there's no side effects. So, you know, looking at natural medicine in that way is going to be beneficial. So why do we get sick in the first place? Now, I think probably we all kind of understand that there is a reason behind it, but there is a biblical reason. It says in Proverbs 26:3, as the bird by wandering, as the swallow by flying, so the curse causeless shall not come. Basically, that means there's a reason behind everything that happens. And again, in Galatians 6:7, it says the same thing. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Now, we may not be doing it on purpose. We're not born into this world knowing these things, and so we just live our life. You know, we eat whatever we eat, we do whatever we do, and there's natural consequences to that. If I had a ball and I dropped it, it's going to fall on the floor. That's a law of, you know, gravity. There's laws that govern our being, and so that's what the Bible's saying. Whatever we do, there's going to be a consequence, whether it's good or it's bad. I always think about also the scripture about how we raise our children. You know, if you raise your children in the way they should go, when they get older, they're not going to depart from it. But that can mean good or bad. You know, if I raise my child to steal, and I know of people that had parents that taught them to steal. You know, that's what they're going to do. They're going to do that the rest of their lives. But if I teach my child to do good things, then they may wander away for a little while, but then prayerfully they're going to come back. And I know there's people in this group right here that have children that are outside the faith, and I do too. And so we pray for our children and we claim that promise. And God listens to a mother's prayer more intently than anything else, just to let you know. So we can claim those promises. In the ministry of healing, we also have a very important principle here. It says disease is an effort of nature to free the system from conditions that result from a what? Violation of what? The laws of health. And we talked about the laws of health yesterday. There's an acronym. It's called New Start. And I think I have it on here. Let me see if I have it on here. Yeah. So nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance. That's just being very balanced in everything. Air, rest, and trust in God. It's a good thing to remember. These are doctors we should go and visit every day. So if we have something going on in our life, you know, you might have gotten a cold, or you might have, you know, hurt yourself in some way. We have to go back to the laws of health and say, okay, what am I missing? What doctor did I miss today? And the laws of health are just like the 10 Commandments. If you are missing just one, the whole chain of truth, the chain of principles will actually fall apart, because they all work with each other. So I can be doing everything, but I'm not drinking enough water. I'm going to be dehydrated, and it's going to have an effect on my body, because my body is about 75% water. My kidneys are not going to be happy. My brain is not going to work well. My blood is not going to run smoothly throughout my body. I'm going to have some problems. So keeping those in mind is really important. So we're going to go back to this. So it's an effort of nature to free the system from these conditions. So in case of sickness, what should we do? The cause should be ascertained. So like I said, we have to find out why. We always have to ask why. Who of you here watch Barbara O'Neill? Okay. So she came, we know her, she came to our center, but that's one of the things she writes on her board. Why? Well, she has a lot of good principles. So you ask why? Why? I mean, that's a good question, right? We got to find out why am I sick? And then unhealthful conditions should be changed and wrong habits corrected. So we find out why, and then we make the necessary adjustments. So if we know the cause and we know the cure, right? We just have to back up and do things differently. And then nature is to be assisted. So we're doing what we're supposed to do, but we can take some things that will help assist the body in the process of healing. So then nature is to be assisted in her effort to expel impurities and to reestablish right conditions in the system. Now, these natural remedies are really those assistants, adjuvants, those things that we can use in addition to the changes that we're making. And in our center, we actually, in the 1 week session that we have, the health retreat that we actually put people on a detox because it's to get those toxins out, and then we feed the body with high nutrition. And then we use some herbs and things like that, and we use some hydrotherapy to get the body back into balance where it's supposed to be. And this works with every disease, because a disease is because there's an imbalance in the body. And we also have an in-home program that people can do at home. And it's a 21-day detox and full body detox program. So we are really about just cleansing the body, putting in the nutrition, doing a few extra things to help the body in the process, and then the healing starts. Now, 1 week is not enough for the healing of most things. You have to keep going in the right direction, and so I highly recommend that people come to us, and then when they go home, continue to go down that right road. Because if you turn around and go the other direction, what's going to happen? It starts over again. Why do you want to do that? Okay, so anyways, so disease is actually a friend of ours. Pain is actually a friend of ours. If we didn't have any pain, we wouldn't know that anything was wrong. And so we have to look at these in the right perspective. True healing remedies, Sister White says, pure air, sunlight, abstemiousness, rest, exercise, proper diet, the use of water, trust in divine power. These are the true remedies. Nature's process of healing and upbuilding is gradual, and to the impatient it seems slow. But those who persevere in obedience to her laws will reap the reward in health. So, yes, it's slower. Now, if I went to the doctor, gives me a prescription, I take the pill, I may feel a little better, but it's not getting rid of the problem. The problem is still going to be there. And in some cases, the pill's not even helping. You might take a pain pill, and for a little while it might help, but it's basically just telling your body to stop telling you that it hurts. And that really makes no sense, but that's the world we live in. And she also says there are many ways of practicing the healing art, but there is only one way that heaven approves, and she goes back over those principles. Drugs are they're expensive both in the outlay of means and in the effect produced upon the system. And she also says in another place that, and I know it's not just her that's saying it, it's science that's saying it, that when you take prescription medications long term, it changes the form and location of the disease. So, if you're taking Tylenol for a long time, you're going to have some problems with your liver. If you're taking ibuprofen, kidneys. If you're taking, whatever medication, it's going to change the problem where it is in your body. So we want to, as far as possible, get away from the drugs and more into the natural remedies. Okay, so we went up with this already. All right, so what we're going to do is use food as medicine and not necessarily eating it. Okay, we know we should eat good food. Let food be your, let medicine be your food, or food be your medicine and medicine be your food. That's what Hippocrates said. But we're going to talk about how to apply food in a different way. First of all, I'm going to talk about some things that you can eat, but then I'm going to talk about how to make some poultices with the food. So one of the things that I like to talk about is cranberries. Cranberries are very good for things like that have to do with the urinary tract and kidney. They also have been shown, you can see all these different benefits of using cranberries. And you can use them in different forms. You can actually use them as cranberry juice. You can use them as dried cranberries, and you can use them in the fresh form. Now we're getting ready to come into the holiday season. You go to the grocery store and the cranberries start coming into the produce section. And I always take the time to grab a bunch of them and throw them in the freezer. Because you can throw them in a smoothie, you can throw them in, different things, and you're going to get those beneficial effects of the cranberries. But the juice is one of the things that I use for women, especially for urinary tract infections. So the juice that I usually suggest is a straight cranberry juice. And this is something that you probably won't find in Walmart. You used to be able to, but I'm not seeing it anymore. It's in a small bottle. Small bottle, and it has no water added. It has no other juices added. When you drink it, it turns your lips inside out. Okay, then you'll know that that's really cranberry juice. But if you have a urinary tract infection, I usually use cranberry juice. You go through one bottle. I also suggest using, and I'm going to talk a little more about it in a minute, oregano essential oil, because it's an antiviral and antibacterial. You can use a couple of drops of that every day until that resolves. And another thing is that urinary tract infections can come as a result of an imbalance in the gut microbiome. So you can actually take probiotics to help with that because it's a bacteria. So when you fortify the gut, the immune system, 75% of the immune system is in your gut. So you do the cranberry juice, you do the oregano, and then you do some probiotics and drink lots of water because you want to flush. Before you know it, your UTI is gone. And this is pretty much for women too. If you're having ongoing UTIs, you want to look at your hormones. Hormone imbalance can also cause frequent UTIs. So, and just to let you know, if any of you are having some issues that you need resolution to and you need somebody to talk to, I do free health consultations, and you can get one of my cards and make an appointment. We can talk over the phone. Okay? Or if you want to come and visit us at our center, that'd be fine too. We can talk face to face. So anyways, cranberries are a great thing to add to your diet. You can make trail mix. You can add it to your smoothie, like I said, oatmeal or cereal, those kind of things. So just getting it into your diet is really beneficial. Another thing is tart cherries. Tart cherries are really good for inflammation. So you see all of these things here. Joint pain, arthritis, any kind of inflammatory thing, the tart cherry juice. Tart cherries are good, but you want the juice because it's more concentrated. And also tart cherry juice contains melatonin. So that can also help with your sleep. Now, if you're having trouble sleeping, you might want to look at if you're getting sunshine, if you're getting exercise and fresh air, all of these things lead you into having a good night's rest. So if you're not sleeping well, you got to look at your other doctors and see who you're not going to visit, and then go from there. But yeah, they do. There's quite a few foods that have melatonin in them. Gout and you see the degenerative brain disorders, those are inflammation in the brain. So tart cherry juice is a good one for that. The next one is garlic. Now, we should all reek of garlic. Now, how many of you don't like garlic? Okay, you're in the minority. Yeah, garlic is so good for so many different things, and just to get it into your diet. Now, if you don't, okay. So, I mean, I do always have somebody that doesn't like garlic, and so you can get them in a pill form, and you can take them. Kyolic is a brand name of garlic, but it lowers blood pressure, it improves cholesterol levels, it thins the blood, it's antimicrobial, which means it helps with the immune function, it detoxes. If you were to eat a clove of garlic, pretty soon you're going to smell it on your skin because it gets into your bloodstream and it's having an effect. Yes.
I'm sorry, you said that so fast. What was the name of the?
Kyolic. Kyolic. And they have different varying amounts of those. I mean, they're in different bottles or whatever. There's one that is actually a black garlic, which is even more powerful than regular garlic. So you can get the kyolic in the black garlic too. Okay, so we can take it all the time. We can eat this in our food all the time. We can even use it as a supplement. I know somebody that, now I don't do this because it would bother me, but I know that she takes probably 5 cloves of raw garlic every day, and she'll just, chop it up and put it in some water and down it. And for me, it's a little strong, but it's good for you. It's definitely good for you, but you have to decide if it works for you. But putting in your food is not a problem. I mean, it's going to make it taste good, and you're going to get some good benefits. So this is a way to actually get it into your system as a supplement to your meals. And this is what we do sometimes during our health retreats. We will steam up a bunch of garlic, and with the meals, people can just get out, put the steamed garlic with their meals, and they'll just eat it in their meals. So it's very easy to do. You just take a saucepan and with a steamer basket and just put your cloves, your garlic in there. And so this is a clove of garlic, for those of you that don't know. This is a clove of garlic, and when you get them all together, I've taken them apart now. You get them all together in that one thing, that's called a bulb. So, yeah, it's in the picture. So 2 to 3 bulbs of garlic is what you're looking for. So you want 2 or 3 of those big things. Now another thing that you can do is actually put them in some aluminum foil. I know some people don't want to put them in aluminum foil, but don't peel them. Just put the whole bulb in aluminum foil, a little bit of olive oil on top, bake them in the oven. What I would do is cut off the top first and then put them in the oven, and all you got to do is squeeze it, and all this nice yummy paste comes out. And I have a really good recipe. It's a vegan Alfredo sauce, and you just put a whole bunch of that in there. Yum, yum, yum. And you can use that for, pasta or on your vegetables, or you can even, put it on bread or whatever you want to do. So these are just some ideas just to get your juices going on how to incorporate these things into your diet and lifestyle. This is another thing that you can do, is actually make a garlic oil. Now this has a few different benefits. You just take a bulb of garlic cloves, chop them up. You want to peel these, and then add them to the olive oil in a jar. And what you're going to be doing is making an oil infusion. That's what it's called. And you let it sit in a dark area for about 2 weeks. Now, the longer you let it sit, the stronger it's going to get. So you could do 2 to 4 weeks. This is very medicinal. So you can, if you have some type of parasite or skin issue, you can actually put the oil, after you've strained the garlic out, put the oil on your skin and it will kill any kind of parasites, any bacterial infection, viruses, those kind of things. And you can use it as a salad dressing. So twofold, right? It's medicinal and culinary at the same time. Because it will last, but it won't last forever. So you want to kind of use it up because the oil itself will go rancid because, you know, that's just what oil does. And so you can start using it on your salad or on bread or whatever you want to use it on. So this is a good thing to have around. I'll tell you, this is just a side note, what I used to do with oil when I had a garden that had a lot of tomatoes overgrown, you know, just tons of tomatoes I needed to do something with. I would cut them up, put them in the dehydrator and dehydrate my tomatoes, and then I would put it in a jar of olive oil. And that is delicious. So yes.
So do you let the oil sit in 2 weeks and then you use it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah. So you want all the goodies from the garlic to get into the oil, and then you're gonna strain the garlic out, and then you can just use the oil for whatever purpose you're gonna use it for. Yeah. You don't have to keep it in the fridge, but it probably will stay longer if you keep it in the fridge. I would say maybe a month or so, yeah. Outside the fridge, you know, when you put olive oil in the refrigerator, what does it do? It hardens up. So that's why even my sun-dried tomatoes, I don't put them in the fridge. They're in my cabinet. Yeah, yeah. The garlic has the microbial components to it, so it will keep a lot of the things from growing in it, but it won't do it forever. So, you know, you just want to be logical about it, I guess. Okay, so there's garlic oil. The next thing is cayenne pepper. I love cayenne pepper. How many of you like cayenne pepper? Okay. Some of you don't like hot stuff, but you don't need much to get benefits from cayenne pepper. You can actually use very little for some instances, and it is very powerful. So you'll see on the right-hand lower corner, somebody's bleeding. And this was actually one of our counselors when I was working at Eden Valley. She was in the kitchen and she was cutting vegetables and she cut her hand. And it wouldn't stop bleeding. You know, you put pressure and hopefully it stops bleeding. Well, it wouldn't stop bleeding. So she remembered the class that talked about cayenne pepper and how it will stop bleeding. She's like, okay, I gotta go get some cayenne pepper. And you'd have to know Judith, she's just a funny girl. She's like, okay, let me go get it. And she's, you know, holding her hand. And so she poured it on there and very quickly it just stopped. So it helps the blood to coagulate on the outside of the body. But on the other side of the coin, it can help thin the blood. So if you take it internally, it will actually thin the blood. It helps with blood pressure. It helps with cardiovascular disease. It helps with if you have somebody or you start to have angina, heart pains, or even a heart attack. You can take a little bit of that cayenne pepper, you don't need that much, and put it under the tongue with somebody that is incoherent. They can't drink anything, they can't do anything, they're just laid out. You can put it under the tongue for a heart attack and actually a stroke. So if, you know, this is a really important one to keep around. All you need is maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon. Just, you know, in an emergency, you're not gonna, okay, where's the teaspoon? Let me, you know, where's the cayenne pepper? Let me get it. Okay. And just recently, one of our family members, she started having pains. Was it heart pain or she was having tingling in her face. So she was actually felt like she was going to have a stroke. She had had strokes before, so she knew that feeling. And she's calling us and, can you take me to the hospital? I'm like, okay, yes, we can take you to the hospital. Well, it was me. He wasn't around. And I said, I'm going to bring you some cayenne pepper. Now, she's not any natural health person at all. I'm like, will you drink this? This will help you until we can get you to the emergency room. And I just put a little bit in a little water. She was able to drink it. And I was very surprised because she doesn't like to do those kind of things. She said, okay, I'll do it. And so I took her to the hospital, and by the time we got to the hospital, most of the tingling and everything had gone. But of course, the doctors are all doing their thing and giving her medication and all this kind of stuff. But she probably would have been fine. They couldn't find anything wrong with her, in other words. But, you know, we want to have these things on hand. Even if you don't know what it is, I've been in a situation at church several times where people have headaches, they have heart pains, they have, you know, whatever. This one lady, she just all of a sudden just had a massive headache, and she didn't ever get headaches. And I'm like, something's wrong with that. So I'm looking in, and this church should have these things in their cabinet. Look in your cabinet in your church or wherever you are. Okay, cayenne pepper, let me find that. And then I actually had in my purse a little thing of Celtic sea salt. This is what it looks like. Celtic sea salt has 82 different minerals in it, one of which is magnesium. Magnesium is a vasodilator, and so I gave her some salt, and I gave her a pinch of cayenne pepper. In about 10 minutes, the headache was almost completely gone. So something was going on. I told her, you need to go see your doctor because something is not right there. But it helped her, you know, short term to get her, you know, get her back feeling better. So these are just things to be able to use in an instant if we need to. I think I have a list of other things that we can use cayenne pepper for. So cayenne pepper actually attracts blood to the part of the body that it's applied to, increasing circulation. Have you ever heard of, what's it called, capsicum? No, well, capsaicin is the chemical in the cayenne pepper, but there is a cream that you can buy in the drugstore, and it has cayenne pepper in it. And actually apply it. Yeah, one of those things, I don't know. I don't know what it's called. But anyway, that's what's in it. And so you can apply it to a part of the body, and it'll bring the blood to the surface of the skin, and it will increase circulation. And when it increases circulation, it can actually reduce inflammation, and then that reduces pain. Okay? So, and I'm going to show you how to do a poultice for cayenne pepper as well. Stops bleeding. Is there arthritis pain? It can actually help with hypothyroidism. I'm going to show you how that works in just a minute, and neuropathy. So, let's see. I'm going to use this. So I'm going to show you how to make a cayenne poultice. Cayenne poultice can be used for two things that we use them for. One of them is to put over the thyroid. If you have hypothyroid and you have decreased function of the thyroid, you can put the cayenne poultice on top of it, and it will increase the activity of the thyroid, and it can help. Now, there's some other things you need to do to correct the situation, but this can actually help the thyroid to work more effectively. And you can put it on the bottom of the foot for neuropathy. So neuropathy is really where you have a lack of sensitivity, or you can't feel what it feels like. You know, you have a less sensitive to pain and different things like that. But some people get burning, they get itching, they get numbness, those kind of things. You can feel like you're walking on a cloud, like it's terrible, you know. And there's several reasons why people have that, but this can be helpful. So my simple remedy for this is just to take a piece of paper towel. You can do it fancier if you want to, and make it kind of like it's for the size of the area. So say, for instance, I'm going to put it on the thyroid. I try to do it about that size. And then I don't have any with me. Usually I use a little bit of spray olive oil. It's just to wet this, okay? Just to mist it. If you have some water or whatever, and I'm not going to do it, I'm just going to show you the process. So you just wet it, and then you just take some, I've got some cayenne pepper here, and you just sprinkle that on there. And you don't need much, just a little bit, just make sure it's spread out. If you get too much on there, you just kind of dab it like that and just get it all over. And then you place it on here, and then you can wrap it with some ace bandage. Or if you want to, this is a neat thing right here. This I got at Walmart. It's in the moving boxes section of Walmart. And this is a really good way to apply poultices. So you can wrap that around the neck to keep it in place. And what you would do, whether it's on the thyroid or the bottom of the feet, of course the bottom of the feet you can put your sock on, that'll keep it in place. But do it overnight and do it as long as you need to. Now, yes?
Can you also do that like if you hurt your ankle or something like a sprain or something?
Okay.
Can you wrap that with the cayenne pepper?
Well, okay, so the question is about if you sprain or break something, you know, can you use the cayenne pepper? That wouldn't be my first thing to use for that.
But I mean, you could still after a while. Because that, you're saying it's for bringing blood?
Yeah, that's a good thought. Yeah, you could do that.
Do
Mhm.
the same thing with heat and cold.
Yes, you do the same thing with heat and cold.
So you would prefer the heat and cold versus the cayenne?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, fine, thank you.
Yeah, it wouldn't be my first choice, but it is, that's a good idea that you could do that. See, I want to teach you several things. That if you get the principle, and that's what you're getting, is the principle behind it, you can use whatever you have on hand. Now, hopefully you have some more things you're going to add to your kit. You're going to have lots of things yeah, and prayer. Prayer is the biggest thing, you know, because all of these things, they work. They have good, helpful health benefits to them. But if we don't pray, then we're missing out on the greatest blessing of it all, you know. So I always pray before I do a treatment, or before we proceed with the treatment. So you see how easy that was? You just take this, wet it, put some cayenne pepper, and just apply it, put it on overnight. If it gets too hot, and it can get too hot, just take it off. You know? So, especially with neuropathy, if you start feeling a lot of heat on the bottom of your foot, it means it's doing something. It's bringing some more circulation to your foot. So, what else was I going to say? Okay, let's go to the internal uses. Okay, we've done all this. You can use it for mouth pain. It's an analgesic, yes.
Yeah, going back to maybe trying to put the Alexa support, it improves blood flow. You take it every day?
Yes, so the question was, can we take cayenne pepper every day? Yes, we can.
And just leave it sprinkled in the stress.
Yeah. I'm going to show you a little drink that I make that includes cayenne pepper. And every one of you can use this drink, but I got to get to it first. But that's, yeah, you can use it every day. Just a little bit. You don't want to. Yes, it does, because anything, the question is, does it help with brain function? Anything that increases blood flow is going to help every part of the body, because it's going to bring in, you know, oxygen and nutrition into the brain, and then remove toxins and those kind of things out of that area. I mean, it just, anything that increases blood flow is going to increase health of each part of the body. Yeah, just, that's the principle to keep in mind. Okay, maybe we can hold off our questions until I get past all this, because I might answer your question in the meantime. So if you have anything, just write it down, and then we can have a question and answer at the end. I just want to kind of get through all of this. Okay, so, you know, high blood pressure, headache, antiviral, all of these, just keep in mind, cayenne pepper is antimicrobial, it thins the blood, it reduces inflammation, reduces pain. So, you know, and it, like we were talking about earlier, it brings in blood flow to the area. So whatever is going on, if this looks like it will help, try it. because there's lots of things that I know things will do, but, you know, we haven't tried everything on everything, if that makes sense, you know? So, we met a doctor that was doing a program for a bunch of medical people. There were nurses and doctors and different people there. And this one nurse, she was not a naturalist at all, but she heard one thing that made so much sense to her, how you can use charcoal. And I'm not going to go to charcoal, but she was so enthusiastic about charcoal, she was using it on everything, and it was working. On blood pressure, on blood sugar, on heart disease. I mean, she was using it on everything. And I don't think she was a Christian, but she had faith in that charcoal, and it was working. And those people believed it. So, okay, now I'm going to talk a little bit about ginger. This is ginger. You can get it at Walmart. You can also get it in a powder form. I use it in certain instances as a powder. And this is a really good thing to have around. I use it primarily as an anti-inflammatory and for any type of pain. Yeah, pain, inflammation, and digestive issues. So that's primarily what I use it for. It may work for you in other ways. So anything that causes digestive issues. So whether you have acid reflux, whether you have nausea, vomiting, car sickness, somebody's going through chemo and they're really sick, anything like that, ginger is really good for that. Now, there have been certain instances where I've had people that could not do the ginger. It was just too strong for them. And then I might give them peppermint tea or something like that. Yeah, ginger chews are good too. Yeah. So you can get, there's different ways, varying ways to get gingers, a candy called ginger chew, and you can do that. Even when we are doing something which is called a fever treatment, a hydrotherapy treatment, some people get a little queasy on their stomach. And so we have ginger, actually ginger tincture available to put a little bit under their tongue just in case they get a little nauseated. Because when you're doing a treatment like that, you don't want to stop. You know, you want to keep going, so you try to get the patient comfortable so they can keep going. So as far as migraine headaches, ginger has been studied to work just as effectively as the prophylactic migraine medication. They used a tablespoon of powdered ginger. So you can use that every day I would do it in divided doses because that's a lot of ginger. So it'd be a teaspoon 3 times a day, and that will fend off migraine headaches. A couple other things, yeah, menstrual cramps. These are all just antimicrobial, inflammation, pain, and digestive problems. And yeah, sorry. Yeah, it has been shown to reduce blood sugar as well. Okay. Yes, because why? Inflammation. Mm-hmm. Yes, and you can do ginger poultices. You just, you're going to grate it. Oh, okay, nice. So she has a ginger patch that is like, it's made that way? Okay, that's awesome. So for a ginger poultice, basically all you do is just grate up the ginger and make a poultice, put it in, you can put it in something like this. You can put it on a cloth. What I would do is just cut a little piece, like a square, and you just put the ginger in it like this, just like a burrito. It's very easy to do. And then just apply it, like she has it on her wrist, and she has one that's like a fancy one. And you just put it on there, and you can put that on overnight. It can get hot too. Yes. 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 So she's a living testimony to how well ginger poultices work for pain. Yep, for pain. I'm sorry?
wet it?
The juice from the ginger is what you're using. Now, you can also buy ginger essential oil, which is a very strong version of the ginger, and you could use that. It's probably, they may be using that in your little patch, is the essential oil, yeah. So it's very strong. Because you know, ginger it's gonna be strong, but it's not gonna be so strong, you know what I'm saying? Now, we have another plant that is similar to ginger, which is the turmeric, and it's in the same family. Let me go through this whole thing here so you can take a picture. So it's cancer protective, antimicrobial. It has some of the same benefits. Headaches and migraines, it can help with diarrhea, fever, bronchitis. You see all these different things. I primarily use it for inflammation and pain, and for things like blood pressure and migraines, those kind of things. And so we have cayenne pepper, we have ginger, and we have turmeric. I'm going to show you this right here. Some of you have asked me, what is that? And I wanted to give everybody a taste of this, so I need to find a way to do that. I have this many sample cups right here. It won't work. Okay. I have the flu bomb too, and I don't have anything to put stuff in. So, okay. Anyways, let me give you a little recipe right here. So this is an anti-inflammatory drink, and you can drink this every day. You can drink it 1 to 2 times a day or more. And because it has all the properties of those 3 things that we just went over, you can use it for headaches, you can use it for blood pressure, you can use it for pain, you can use it just as an antimicrobial drink, just kind of staving off, you know, the colds and the flus and all these different things. I drink this every single day, and I can tell the difference when I don't drink it. So, you know, all of us have a certain amount of inflammation going on in our bodies, some more than others, and this can really kind of lower that inflammatory stuff that's going on inside your body. So this is 1 dose, what you're seeing on the screen, and this is my jar of the whole thing. Like, I just fill it up. I do equal proportions of, you know, what's on there, same proportions, and I just put a scoop of it in a little bit of water. It's very strong. And do it like a shot. And then just drink some water behind it. That's how I do it. I see things coming over here. Maybe we can let you taste it. I don't know if you want to, but there's been a couple of times when I had a class and somebody had a really bad headache again, and I gave them some of this, and the headache was gone very quickly. How many of you would like to try this? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, about 20. Okay. We're limited on cups. I am going to make a flu bomb too that everybody can try later on, so we'll see. Okay. Let's see here. Yes, I heard you. Just gonna make a little bit. Go ahead, no, go ahead.
On the, that it says followed by your favorite choice of beverage.
Mhm.
I don't know about soft drinks because they cause them.
Well, we don't want to do that. Yeah, we already talked about the laws of health, so we know that we shouldn't be doing that. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't do vinegar, I'd do lemon juice. Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about vinegar. I know the vinegar is all the rage, that's the good thing to do. If you know how your body works, our body is mostly alkaline, except for our stomach is really acid. So when you do things like vinegar, baking soda, baking powder, or Tums, or Rolaids, or calcium carbonate, any of these things, it imbalances the delicate balance of the digestive system. And so it can cause, over time, cause problems in the breakdown of your food and absorption, if that makes sense. It has to be, alkaline in your mouth, alkaline in your esophagus, acid in your stomach. We actually make some baking powder or baking soda down lower in our system, which neutralizes the acid and makes it more alkaline. But if you do that prematurely, it can cause your stomach to be not alkaline enough, not acid enough to break down proteins. So that's why you don't want it. That's why we're told in the writings of Ellen White, she talks about that we shouldn't be doing those things. I don't think she knew all the ins and outs of it, but that's really the reason why you don't want to do that. So, okay. This? Okay. Oh, the vinegar is something that you do not want to use. You don't want to use it, yeah. I want to say, okay, I'll just say this, short term, for really bad acid reflux. Really bad acid reflux and nothing else is working and they're getting ready to put you on medication and you have scarring in your esophagus and all these things. Short term, yes, if you don't mind. But you don't want to do it like for a long period of time. Hopefully you guys have some water to drink behind this. I'm only giving you a tiny bit. Thank you. Well, we have to taste and see that the Lord is good, right? Okay, how many do you need? A lot more. Yes. So, that's good. Good. So just think of this. If you are used to taking Tylenol or Advil or any kind of pain medication, you can take this instead. How many more? All right, what do you think? I've never heard anybody say it's good.
It's better after the water. You're welcome.
You really drink that every day?
It's right there on the screen. It's a mixture, yes. I got one more. Good?
By the way, I appreciate you guys doing all of this stuff on Saturday. I keep telling Jeanette,
Raise your hand if you haven't had one in long.
Boy, I didn't know I was gonna give everybody some. I guess everybody decided it's not so bad. Yes. Oh. Yeah.
Is that everybody? Anybody else? I'm the client for something.
All right, we gotta get back to our class. I should have put it back there with the water and everybody could just get some. Okay. Gonna wake you up in the morning. Okay.
If you have a cup and you haven't thrown it away, you could hold on to it. You can use a flip ball, and if you want that, we'll reuse the cup.
Yeah, we have a few cups left, but this is it. This is all we have. But yeah, just hate to waste. Okay. All right. So I have one more thing on this presentation that I wanted to share with you, and I share this with every one of our clients because we are so dehydrated. We can drink water and lots of it and still be dehydrated. Did you know that? So what happens is, have you ever had the experience you're drinking water, and then before you know it, you're in the bathroom? In the bathroom. Our bodies require enough minerals to actually take that water and put it into the cells, or else it's just kind of going through us, or it may get into the tissues. Depending on your diet and your lifestyle, you might get it in the tissues, and when you get in the tissues, that's called edema. It means that your ankles swell and those kind of things. So this is just a homemade electrolyte drink. It is like Gatorade. And what I suggest for people to do is to actually drink a quart of this first thing in the morning to kind of hydrate the body, because all night you've been not drinking, right? And your body is, like Dr. Rosado was saying yesterday, you're constantly expelling water out of your body, whether it's through your breath or through your skin or, whatever it is. And so this is a very good way to replenish that water and to actually get it into the cells. Now, I have had instances where I've had clients that they didn't want to make any other changes, or they have been making changes and they're still not seeing the results of the changes that they're making. And I would just give them this. and they will tell me, I feel so much better because you've increased the liquid in your body. And our bodies are 75 to 85% water. If we don't have enough, if we aren't hydrating our kidneys and our liver and our brains and, making sure our blood is running thinly and all these different things, we're going to feel bad. We're going to have headaches. We're going to have memory problems. We're going to have things like kidney stones. This would actually help with kidney stones. People that form kidney stones on a regular basis have a diet usually that is too acid. The Celtic sea salt, like I said, has 82 different minerals in it. If you watch Barbara O'Neill, and those of you that don't like her, but you've seen this, these are little crystals of the Celtic salt. Okay, I'll tell you something about salt. So that is sodium chloride. That's what they're talking about. Sodium chloride is like the little girl with the umbrella, the Morton salt, and a lot of it is chemically made. There's only 2 or 3 minerals in that container when you're salting your food. When you use things like sea salt, Himalayan salt, Celtic sea salt, you're getting a lot of those other minerals that are deficient in that one salt, okay? Himalayan is good, but what I found is between the two, I looked at what's in both of them. The Celtic is better as far as the nutritional profile of them, and it's more absorbable. It does a lot more for us than the pink. And then on top of that, I have been hearing tell that people are taking salt and just coloring it. There's only one company that has the Celtic sea salt, and it's Selena, Selina, and you can buy that. You can buy it on Amazon or whatever. Yeah, which is okay. Yes. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Because, do you know why? Because Barbara O'Neill is promoting it, and she's all over the internet. She's promoting the Celtic sea salt, which I agree with. She's promoting the wild jam cream, which we make, and she's promoted our cream before. And so anything she promotes, they run out of. Anyways, that's just how it is. But it's a good way to, because really, have you ever seen the alkaline water at the store? Do you know what makes it alkaline? The minerals. The minerals are what makes it alkaline. So now you could get smart water, it'll have sodium chloride, it'll have some very low quality minerals in there to say that it's alkaline, and it is. I mean, it'll make it alkaline. But if you use the Celtic sea salt, you're going to get a better quality of all the different minerals that our bodies need. And if you think about it, in the very beginning, in the Garden of Eden, when we were created out of what? Minerals. Dust, right? That's what's in the dust, is minerals. We were created out of that. So our bodies are made up of minerals. And our diet needs to be a lot of minerals. Unfortunately, a lot of our diets are not. If we're eating a lot of processed foods, even if you're a vegan, you're eating processed foods, you're not going to get the potassium, the magnesium, the chloride, the boron, all these manganese and all these different things that our bodies actually need in small amounts. And you're going to have over time an imbalance like Dr. Rosella was talking about yesterday. So if you can do 1 quart of this first thing in the morning, and depending on your weight, right, we need half our weight in ounces of water every day. So a 100-pound person needs 50 ounces of water every day, just for normal function, not taking into account extra sweating and all that kind of thing. So if you're a very small person, you could take this electrolyte drink and maybe drink half of it in the morning and half of it in the evening. If you're a larger person, 1 whole one in the morning and 1 whole one again in the evening. And we promote 2 meals a day. Breakfast like a king, lunch like a queen and supper like a pauper. Pauper sometimes, they're poor people, they don't have anything to eat. So in some cases, if you're very thin, maybe you need a third meal, but for the most of us, we can do with just 2 meals a day. And instead of the supper, have a quart of that water. I have a young lady that was staying with us, and she has some major illness going on, and she's been to Mayo Clinic, she's been to lots of our Adventist doctors, and nobody knows what's wrong with her. I put her on this water. She was having a meal every 2 hours because she was having fainting spells and those kind of things. After talking to her, I realized she's probably dehydrated. She's probably not absorbing the nutrients from her food adequately, so I started doing some things with her, very simple things. So instead of having, breakfast, a snack, lunch, a snack, that kind of thing, I said, let's cut out the snacks. Let's have breakfast, and then when you're going to have a snack, have some of this water. And then have your meal and do like that throughout the day. She hasn't had any more fainting spells. And I also told her, because she was having some malabsorption problems, I feel like she is, I have been giving her a prescription of the juice of 1 lemon before her meals. And that will acidify the stomach, kind of like vinegar in a way, but it's going to do it. It's acid when it comes in, but after you digest it, it becomes alkaline. So, and that has helped her tremendously. Basically those 2 things. And she has not had any fainting spells. She's not feeling that same lethargy that she was having and all of that. So these are just simple things. Okay. All right. We have almost 10 o'clock. So what I would like to do right now is take a 5-minute break so everybody can go and do whatever they got to do. And I'm going to set up for the hydrotherapy part. And I will go over the colds and flus a little bit because we're running out of time. But we're going to kind of transition to the other stuff. And when we come back, I'll be ready for that. Sound good? I do too.
You guys got it figured out? You're welcome.
Hey, girl. I thought about you last night, what you said, and I said, not seeing you in a long time. Oh, sorry. Okay, sure.
That's why we're gonna go back
I'm
to.
in the night trying to work on my I'm an invalid. I can't walk fast.
That's okay, that's okay.
Thank you very
I don't
much.
mind at all.
Thank you very much. You see this all the time. I know that you see us all the time. I like it. I know that you do it behind you. You see something. This is just telling you what love does. Love motivates a person.
Yes, yes, I'm trying to be that kind of person. That's the way Jesus wants us.
I've always been the hugger.
Me too.
The problem is my mom always said, be careful when you hug because some women have a different idea when you hug them.
Yeah.
And hug people. So I don't hug people.
Well,
Not that I don't want to, but I don't hug them.
I know, I wish, sometimes, I think maybe I shouldn't. And you can kind of tell by some people, and I'll just shake their hand and smile, you know.
So my problem is when I take down the lunch with me, they're gonna find stuff to wash out. And when I can't walk, I can hardly walk. So
Keep one of those little bitty alcohol things in your pocket. But you can still take them.
I need to get one of those.
Yeah, you can get them at Walmart. Yeah, about this big.
Thank you for your patience.
So you're walking your way.
No, you're welcome.
And I was gonna tell you, so, I want you to look at this house, not up for sale yet. This,
Over there by you.
it's kind of more, it's kind of between here and Myers. It's between here and.
Well, I know Bill doesn't want to be in the city, but he's not going to. I go where I want to go.
Yeah. Well, it is,
Well, I can understand, he wants to build a barn unit, but I don't know that I would go there. Kind of just big lots. So,
so you don't want that big of a lot anymore? Somewhere and
well, and I think they're the same reason I'm downsizing too. I'm already going through stuff in my house. I'm getting rid of stuff I don't use. I can see, you know, you pull it out and I didn't even know I had this. I've had it for years. Sitting here. What is it doing? Maybe it'll do something else. I'm getting rid of all this.
and garage sale.
I'm gonna have a garage sale. Most of the stuff I'm gonna put on this and the other stuff.
What do you do? You just make a little Facebook garage sale, or what do you do?
On Facebook. I've never done it. I'm gonna try it.
So you just take a picture and put the price or best offer.
They have a little form, I think, that you fill out. My sister-in-law did it for me last time I did it, but I think she wrote in the descriptions. Yeah, because I have some, I have a couple of pieces that antique furniture that was and things like that. Years ago that used to be carried around. And so I want to put those things on Facebook. Anything that's got more value. And anything else, I don't know if I'm going to do a sale, donate it. If they have one here, donate that one here.
That's what we did last time when we had a we had 2 sets of living together. So we ended up, we were gonna sell it, we ended up. No one else is like.
And if you really believe the Lord,
It clutters my brain more, like to see it getting out of the house.
and like I've said,
But you're not feeling right now. You
you
are?
are.
Oh, that's all right. The cluttering
Just getting rid of stuff. But if we really believe that's what
Are you taking a picture of me?
yes, I would love that to happen.
The regulations changed after COVID, because Jade was mentoring some kids from and then they stopped it. She did that during COVID. And so now, they don't. When Jade gets going, we've been following that with Noah, he's going to go back to her time. Until that time, Jade was going to sleep. We never heard something else. Well, yeah, because like, what is that for?
I don't know.
Take a girls trip.
He said something about if we wanted to come soon, we had to
I've heard that before. Oh, wow. Actually, yeah. The skin has more melanin in it. And so, the more melanin, better elasticity. Yeah, more elasticity.
Where did this one come from? I was given one extra because I didn't know where to put it, like which family to put it on.
All right, I will put it right back in the restaurant.
You're very sweet. Thank you
Oh,
very much.
you're so welcome.
Thank you very much. God bless. I just have one, two, give me I'll put it, keep that, but the lady that you want,
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it. It's okay, but it's, you know.
Have a connected to church?
Right, praise the Lord. God bless you, God bless you.
Okay, we're gonna get started again.
I think I found it. Okay, so no, I just went straight to YouTube.
Okay, we're gonna get started again.
Okay, this is what is going on right now.
I'm gonna need some volunteers. You don't know what you're volunteering for. You need some brave people. I'll tell you after you get up here. Okay, so I want you to go to your handout that says Natural Remedies for Allergies, Colds, and Flus. And you'll see on page 3,
Small print.
one with small print, yeah. So these are some things you can do when you have a cold or a flu or allergies, those kind of things. One of them is called using a neti pot. Okay, it looks like a little teapot, you know, a little thong on a little teapot, short and stout, that kind of thing. So this is a neti pot, and this is used to clean out the sinuses. So you have a bacterial infection, or you have sinus headache, or you just have congestion up into the sinus cavities, this will help to clean it out. And it's really easy to use. What you want to do, you'll see the recipe there. You take a 1 cup of warm water and you add a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, and I've already done that in this little bit of water. Now, there's something else you can add to it if you want to, especially if you have an infection. You can add a drop of lavender oil to it. Because lavender, in addition to smelling good, some people don't like the smell, but I think it smells good. It is antimicrobial, so it can kill bacteria up there. So I'm going to add just a little bit, just 1 drop. That's all you need, just 1 drop. And then I'm going to put it in this neti pot, and that's where I need a volunteer who wants to try this. No, you want distilled water or filtered water. Yes. Do not put faucet water up your nose or in your mouth. Yeah, it's fine. Anything that it's filtered, like the contaminants have been taken out. You don't know how many chemicals are in faucet water. You can actually go online. I would suggest that you do this. I'm gonna give you a website. It's called ewg.org. It is not Ellen White. Not ED. ewg.org.
It's the
Environmental Working Group. They have a lot of information on that website on toxicity in the environment. They have different articles about it, but they have this huge database of what is in our food and what is in our bath and body products, what is in our household cleaning products. And you can go there and say, okay, I use scrubbing bubbles, or I use close-up toothpaste, or I use whatever. And you can put it in there, and it'll give it a green light, a yellow light, or a red light. And it'll tell you, okay, it's a red light, and it'll tell you why. It'll tell you the chemicals that are in there. Most of the chemicals in our bath and body products, our household cleaning products, the things we use every day, are they are cancer causing, and they're endocrine disrupting, which means they mess up our hormones. That's why women are so messed up, including women. Men and children are messed up too. So basically, this is another topic, this is another class that I teach, but on average, we use about 300, as women, 300 unregulated toxic chemicals on our body every day. 300. And that could be in just maybe 3 products or 4 products, that we're using, whether it's hair care, toothpaste, lotions, fingernail polish, makeup, you name it. And so 300 for women, about 150 for men, and about 75 for children. And that's just using regular run-of-the-mill commercial products. So if you can learn, like I said, I do classes on that side too, learn how to make your own things, you're going to be doing a lot better off. But anyways, that's a good site to go to. It talks about, yes ma'am. ewg.org. Environmental Working Group. Not Ellen White database. Okay. All right. So anyways, all that to say that our water is really toxic. Okay, who's going to come up here and put some water up their nose? I need 1 person. Okay. Yay! Okay. Okay, come on this side because everybody wants to see your face. All right, I'm going to give you some pointers on how to do this. All right, so the stuff is in here. what you want to do is you want to put it completely up into your nostril. You want to hold your chin down into your chest, and you want to turn your neck, just like that. And I'm going to let you hold it on this side and do a little bit on one nostril and then a little bit on the other nostril. I'm going to hold this up for you. Okay. Okay. Make sure it's way up in there good. Yep, yep. And then turn your, and oh, and keep your mouth open. Breathe through your mouth. Okay, you're going to turn your neck this way. Yep, this way. And okay, and keep turning until you get some water. You'll feel it coming in, and it should start. It'll start coming out in a minute. Okay, it's coming out. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay, all right, and then just go. Just breathe out. Breathe out, and then here's the mouth. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and then you're going to do the other side. Now you want to keep pouring until it comes out because she has a deviated septum. So she's got a little bit of blockage there. And it's going to feel, kind of, yes, yep. Okay, there you go.
Does that help with sleep apnea?
Probably not. It's coming. Yeah, it's coming out. There we go. Okay, and you can stop and just breathe out. It's coming. Yeah. So, yeah, just blow your nose real good. Yeah. So, yeah, so yeah, it's, yeah, good job. But what you want to do is keep doing that on a regular basis, just to keep that cleaned out. When you do it, it feels so clean, like you feel so clean up in your sinus passages. Yeah.
Can you use the Wholeness bottles?
Yes.
What about a syringe, like do someone with medicine?
If you want to. I'm not going to stop you.
You can use a turkey-based.
I can't hear you. The saline solution? Yeah, you can as long as you know that's all that's in it is salt and water. I mean, I used to wear contacts and they have a saline solution and it's got other stuff in it. So you just have to make sure that it's safe. Yeah. So, yeah. So do you smell flowers? Now, I used to do another one where we do, well, I'm not going to get into that. Anyways, okay, we're going to go. All right, the next thing is cayenne pepper. So cayenne pepper can do something similar to what the neti pot just did. So what do you think we're going to do with the cayenne pepper? Okay.
Earlier in the beginning part of the year, we went to the Spanish church, Robertson, and when we had the cayenne pepper up your nose, we had 15 people line up to try it. How many we got here?
So, no, you're out. We got to try one more person, and actually, I will do it with you. So I'm not afraid. Okay, you can do it with them. Yeah, that's a good idea, because I got to talk.
Because I have something that
Okay, so this is the way that we do it. She's a fearless participant. I can tell you got white hair, like I do. Okay, this is, all right, you want to do it? Let me show you real quick. Okay, so what I do is I take a pinch, and when I say a little tiny bit, I mean a little tiny bit. So right here, just like Grandma used to do the stuff, just a couple little, see how much that is? Just a little bit. Hold my nose. Okay.
I love it, and remember this.
Just use right here, you're gonna need it. Okay, maybe, okay, let's take some of this off. Okay, now, let's put it under your nostril, hold the other nostril, and sniff real hard in.
You're gonna snort, Greg. I said that, that's right, I really didn't know. It's okay, I know where you're gonna start, and where you're gonna.
Do it fast. Okay, now do it. Okay, now hold your, do you feel it? I see kind of underneath your nose. You feel it? Okay. You wanna do the other side?
Now you go, Lisa.
Now, people often, of course, we say cayenne pepper to go, isn't that gonna burn?
Yes.
Yeah, it's cayenne pepper. But I tell everybody, don't worry about it, because after about 3 seconds, your face goes numb and you don't feel anything. No, it only burns for a short while if you do it correctly, get it all the way in.
Feel it?
If you just don't sniff hard and it gets just in the inside of your nasal, that's just, it will burn longer.
Yes.
Another way to do it that I like to do it a lot better is I take a Q-tip and just barely wet the tip of it, put it in the cayenne pepper, and then insert the Q-tip as far as you can, like you're going to be having a COVID test, and sniff in on both sides. And it will go in without really getting in the nostril and getting contact there.
It's back there now, guys. It's back there.
Yeah, so this is used for
Yeah, so headaches, sinus pain, congestion, kind of like the neti pot, but what it does is it opens up the blood vessels and it causes drainage, causes your nose to run. It can cause you to cough, to sneeze. It just really just helps you to eliminate things that might be stuck up in there. Now, you can use this for migraine headaches, I mean really bad headaches. Because if you've ever had a migraine or really bad headache, you know how painful it can be. If you do this, we haven't figured out if it's either it's getting rid of the headache because of the properties of the cayenne pepper, or it's because the cayenne pepper is burning so bad you forget you have a headache. So you can do either one.
It could increase the blood circulation.
It does. That's what it does.
That's really, in truth, that's what happens. You have more blood flow going in, and everything that we're showing here, everything that we're doing here is on one theory, and it comes from the Bible. The Bible says the life of the flesh is in the blood, right? So if you want health, you want fresh blood in the area to bring all the nutrients that in the life that the blood brings. And that's what hydrotherapy is all about.
Yes.
Okay? Bringing more blood into whatever area you're wanting to treat so that you can have more life activity going on.
Now, being that that's different than the normal, the cayenne pepper, when you inhale it into your nostril, is it long lasting?
As far as,
How long the body you flush it out? Cayenne pepper you don't flush out.
No, it just stays there until your body assimilates it.
now what you can do is you could actually do the cayenne and do the neti pot behind it a little bit
You
later.
could do that and then rinse out if you want it.
Yeah, you could try that. I've never tried it. Now, let me tell you a little bit about cayenne pepper. This cayenne pepper that we've used today, I think is a 90,000 heating unit. It's very hot. There's a chart or it's called Schofield heating unit chart or whatever. And so different hot peppers have different ranges of heat. Like if you go to Walmart and just get cayenne pepper, it's probably 5,000 to 10,000. This is 90. You can get medicinal cayenne pepper about 300,000. I've used that before. The hottest peppers that there are like a million or something like that. And and the crazy people in the world eat those. So, yeah. Anyways, this is a 90,000. I have a company that I buy my herbs from. It's called Star West Botanicals in California. Star West Botanicals. I buy all my culinary and medicinal herbs from them because they're organic. I know I can be safe with them.
Not only organic, but with experience, we've found that their stuff seems to be fresh. Other companies, they sit on the shelf and might not have as good a color. Star West has good color.
Okay, and so like for instance, I buy my turmeric, my ginger, my cayenne, but I also buy my Italian seasoning, my garlic, my onion powder, all of that from Star West. Well, between that and Azure Standard, because we have a co-op near where we are. Azure Standard is another bulk buying place for food. We don't have a lot of money, so we try to be very diligent and frugal with how we spend our money. I can get a pound of Italian seasoning for like $10 and it's organic. You know, you go to Walmart, you get a little bottle and it's $6. You know, so it's well worth going and investing in those things, and then you can put it in a little mason jar or something, and you know, I've got mason jars everywhere filled with stuff, and that's how we live. Now she's starting to sneeze, and I'm going to start sneezing here, so it works. Okay, so we're going to go on to the hydrotherapy, and I'm going to show you just a few things in here, and like my husband said, it's based on really the manipulation of the circulation of the blood is what we're trying to accomplish with hydrotherapy. When you apply hot water, it brings in blood into the area. When you apply cold water, it pushes it back. So you can do hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold, to bring in nutrients and to take out metabolites, different toxins and those kind of things. And it's kind of like a pumping action in some instances. In other instances, like our foot bath, we're going to put somebody's feet in there for 30 minutes, and it's going to draw inflammation and blood down to the bottom of the feet, and it will be eliminated through the lymphatic system. And then we're going to end with cold. So I need someone that may have maybe some pain in their hips, their back, their knees, or a headache. You can't do it. Yeah, I think she had told me yesterday that she wanted to try it. Yeah, she's got some inflammation in her knee.
Yeah, we kind of had a reservation.
For you, those of you that want to volunteer, I'm going to show you how to do it, and you can do it at home. That's the purpose, so you can do it at home. Okay, now what you want to do is just put your foot in and see how it is. See how it feels to you. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay, let's just take your feet out. Now I'll just tell you one thing. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing about, why is it doing that?
You gotta go all the way around.
Okay. Let's do that. Okay. So, you don't have any neuropathy in your feet. Okay. So, the feet are basically the most sensitive part. So if you put your feet in hot water and you put your hand in hot water, it's not going to feel the same. If you put your hand down in there, it's not going to feel as hot as it does to your feet, believe it or not. You know, we wash dishes all the time with our hands. It doesn't bother us. But yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap you up. And what I have here is a sheet, a wool blanket, and then I'm going to put a shower curtain around her. We're gonna wrap her all up. this one is a twin, but probably a queen size would be better. Okay, and then
It has to be a wool blanket.
it's best because it holds in the heat really well. You can use a synthetic something kind of thing.
It's called flannel.
I'm gonna show them that, but,
It's called flannel.
flannel will work. Yep. And then we're just gonna do some plastic. This is just a shower curtain. It's not as big as it needs to be. But what we wanna do, let's say for instance, even though it's for her knee, let's say for instance she's sick. Maybe she has the flu and we want her to sweat. So this will definitely help you to sweat. Now I have this little gizmo right here and it is actually for doing a Russian steam. So we could put that over her as well and it would hold in the heat and she would sweat in that as well. And what we're gonna do with this is she's gonna keep her feet in there for 30 minutes. So you're gonna sit with us while I talk about other things. And at the end of it, we're going to put ice cold water over her feet to stop the action, just for about 20 seconds. You didn't know what you signed up for, did you? Okay, so the question is, do we keep adding hot water? Well, that's a good question. I'm gonna put this around just so the plastic doesn't bother you.
If you're using something like this, that isn't going to continue to keep the water at the temperature that you want it to be. You want to continue to check the temperature and add as needed. Now, when you add the hot water in, the feet need to be moved to the side. Don't pour directly onto someone's feet, right? You're pouring to the side, let them move their feet around, mix it in, and that'll work fine.
Okay, so, yeah, so there's a couple different ways to do this. You can do it with, I like these foot baths because it'll keep the temperature. You can just set it and it bubbles and it's nice and you're relaxing and it can massage your feet and all these kind of things.
What temperature?
You can do it around 110, 108 to 110. If
You want it as hot as you can stay in, all right? Everyone has a different level in which they can actually take. And be very careful, especially if you have diabetes. You want to control what temperature you have in the water.
we don't recommend this for people that have blood clots, DVTs, anything like that in the extremities, because you could dislodge a clot and, something bad could happen. So it's not that we can't ever do these kind of treatments on people with neuropathy and blood clots and all those kind of things, but we just want to be really careful and probably keep the temperature pretty low. So it would be more of 102 rather than 108. And, because, we do temperatures up to 115. In some cases, like with the fever treatment, we use 110 to 115 degree water. So it's not going to burn you, but it can be uncomfortable for some people if they're just not used to that or whatever. So just like, kind of like when you used to have the baby bottle and you check the temperature with your elbow or this kind of thing, you can do the same thing with that before you put your feet in. But usually people will just, if you're doing it for somebody, they'll tell you, okay, that's a little hot. Just, let them put their feet in and then take them out, put them in, take them out until they acclimate themselves to the water and then have them keep the feet in. So, yeah, that's what I was saying. You can, but you have to be very careful. So about 102 degrees or less, yeah.
If person's on blood thinners,
It's fine. It's fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can use the electric one. You can use a dish pan. That's all that is a dish pan from Walmart. And you can also do it on the side of your tub. So this is, in a chair, wrapping up. We'd have to, if we didn't have this electric one, in the old days, it was like you have to keep bringing things to it, filling it up, keeping the water warm and all that. But if you are on the side of a tub and you're doing it for yourself, now I've had to do this by myself a lot of times because he's not available. So I sit on the side of the tub, put my dish pan under the faucet, fill my water up, put my feet in. I could sit there with a book or whatever and read, and then at the end, I would do the cold water. And you only do that for about 20 seconds. You're just going to stop the action of the blood being drawn down to the feet, because the hot is pulling the blood down, the cold would push it back up, and then it would just equal back out. Now, after this treatment, if she was really, really sick, I would probably put her in the bed, cover her up, and let her rest for 30 minutes to an hour. And if she was really sick, I would probably do this a couple of times a day. Now, my husband has a really good testimony that he would like to share about how you can use this in a very interesting way.
So if you look on your paper there on the hot foot bath, I don't know if you all are turned there, you can see the list of all the different things that this hot foot bath can be used for. It's not just for your feet, right? It's not just for your knees or your lower extremities, but you can see there's lots of things that are listed in here. About 3/4 of the way down there, you'll see listed in the effects, back pains. About 8 or 9 years ago, I had completely torn a muscle in my back. Doing some heavy lifting, I was working all day, moving, working for the state, and I was out for 6 months with physical therapy before I could actually go back to work. Right after going back to work again, I re-injured that muscle. Now, with this, it was so painful that laying in the bed, I couldn't even think about moving without pain. I mean, one little twitch this way or that way was extreme tear-jerking pain. After a few days in the bed, Sonia came to me with a pan similar to this, and she said, "Let me do a hot foot bath on your feet. I'll put your feet in while you're laying in the bed." And I said, "You're not going to put my feet in hot water for my back. Come on, I'm a mechanic. I know how things work." She begged with me and eventually convinced me. And after she very gently got my feet into the water, and I sat there for a while, then she finished the first treatment with the cold water. Covered me up, and I lay there, and I noticed that I could actually roll over in bed. So later in that day, she came back to do a second treatment that evening, and when she got finished with the second treatment, I was able to sit up on the side of the bed. And then after we did the third treatment, several hours later, I was able to actually get up and walk to the restroom on my own. And from that day, I have been a firm believer in the hot foot bath for back pain, for anything in any of your extremities or wherever you have inflammation and severe pain. This treatment works. And as she said and indicated here, 30 minutes in the hot water, and then just cool off the feet, wrap them up, and go to bed.
Like a baby. How you feeling? Oh, good. Last time I did this, the lady fell asleep.
So I didn't get your name, Sister
Pam?
Pam. Sister Pam just said, "I feel good." She's not even done yet.
Okay, so there are some other things in here you'll notice. There is the nasal irrigation. Hold on, let me start from the beginning here. Page 3, nasal irrigation, that's the neti pot. And then there's a facial contrast. We're not going to do that. So basically, in a nutshell, you take a bowl of hot water and a bowl of cold water, and you can just use something like this, a little bigger. And what you want to do is, there's 2 ways to do this.
There's 2 ways to do this. I can give you the basic, the marks version of not the John version. All right, you want your face in the cold water, and then
No, hot.
in the hot water, and then in the cold water.
Okay, so you can do it 2 ways. You can do 3 minutes of hot, which is why we would use this, because you can't keep your face in there for 3 minutes, right? And then 30 seconds in the cold, or you can just do like 20 seconds and 20 seconds. Just hold it as long as you can, and then hold it again as long as you can in the hot and cold and hot and cold. What that does is similar to the Medicot, similar to the cayenne pepper, is it will help your to release mucus and those kind of things. So these are 3 things that you can use for the same things. So whatever you have in your possession, you have your tools, right? One more is doing a steam inhalation. That's on number 4. All of us probably know what that is. So basically, you can take a pot or a bowl, yep, and put hot water in there.
You want to have the hot water in here, or even if you had a tub like this where the water gets hot. They also now make some where they actually have the nozzles where you can actually put your face onto it and have the steam. But you would just want to put your face over it and cover it.
Yep, that's a really dirty towel. Yep. It's not dirty.
That's why I didn't put that side of my face.
No, it's just an old towel. So what you can do also in the steam water is I have eucalyptus oil. You can put a drop of that. I also have something called Breathe. These are doTERRA products. I'm a doTERRA girl. But Breathe is a blend of essential oils. It is really good. If you want to come up here and smell it, you can afterwards. Breathe, which is called Breathe. Yeah. But if you have just eucalyptus, you can use that too. Just a drop. And then as you're putting your head over, in the water, you don't want to put your head in the water. Just over the water, so you're going to just kind of hover like this. Because this is hot, and it's going to steam, and it can burn you, so you have to be very, very careful. But then you put the towel over your head, and you can just sit there, and before you know it, your face is going to be all wet, and your sinuses are going to be open, and it's going to feel really nice. It's almost like a facial. Yeah, would somebody like to try it? Okay, Pat, are you standing up? Did you want to come up here?
I have a question.
Come on up here.
What about using Vicks?
Well, Vicks is a petroleum product. You can still use it, but you can't put it in the water. I mean, is that what you're saying? Yeah, this would be better. Okay, this is clean. It just has stains on it. All right, so what we're gonna do is probably get you a chair and let you, we can put you on this side. I want everybody to see. You can tell, see, when we have volunteers, they can actually tell you their experience. Yeah, take your glasses off because they're gonna steam up. And what you want to do is just kind of breathe really deep. Now, it's got the breathe in there, so it's going to be strong to start with, so don't put your face too deeply into the bowl at first because it will be very strong. Okay, all right, you ready? Okay, here we go. Yeah, she said it smells really good in there. So, this is just a really good way to, if you're just battling with a little bit of something, this is a really good thing. Another thing that you can do when you start to feel something coming on, I'm the kind of person that if I feel the slightest something, sore throat, I'm out of sorts, I'm tired or whatever, I'm like, my immune system is fighting. So I want to give it the freedom to do what it's supposed to do. So I will start fasting, me. I start fasting. I drink lots of water. I get lots of rest. I start doing what's called contrast showers. Contrast shower is where you get in the shower, you wash up, do your thing, and for 3 minutes, you do as hot as you can stand. Okay? Everybody's different, hot as you can stand. Then, you turn it to cold, and you do as cold as you can stand for 30 seconds. And you go, woo, like that, okay? And then, you turn it back to hot again. 3 more minutes, I just count in my head. 3 minutes, 30 seconds. 3 minutes, 30 seconds. About 3 to 5 times. Now, for some people, the way that might look is warm, a little cold to start with. A little warmer, a little colder. Hot, cold. You know, whatever works for you. I don't want people to say, well, I just can't do that because I don't like cold or I don't like hot. Work with yourself because this is a very effective way to boost your immune system, to increase circulation in your body, and to increase your body's ability to heal. Very simple. So if I, myself, I start getting a cold, a sore throat, whatever, contrast showers, probably 2 times a day, rest, fasting, lots of water. I'll just tell you something very important to remember about fasting. You know, we all think we're going to die if we don't eat every meal and eat all the time. Huh? Oh, how you doing in here? You want to come? You want to be done? Or you okay? Okay, she likes it in there. She's going to stay a little longer. Okay, fasting actually gives your body the time to do some intense cleanup work. My husband and I were just recently involved in a 10-day water fast. Okay? I have worked with diabetics that have done 3 to 5 days of water fasting. What happens in your body is, because you're not eating, it transitions its energy into cleaning house, repair work, getting the toxins out, you know, all these different benefits. And so I think we haven't really tapped into the really powerful medicine of just fasting, you know. I think people used to do it a whole lot more, but now we just feel like we're going to die, you know, if we don't have something to eat. But if you want more information about water fasting, I can give you lots of information, science behind it, medical literature. I mean, there's just so many things, especially with things like cancer. I mean, it's huge. So, are you sleeping,
And remember, Jesus prescribed fasting.
Yes.
Right? He didn't say if you fast. He said when you fast.
When you fast,
Okay.
yes.
What's
There-
the longest fast?
The longest fast, as far as we did, we've done 10 days.
What's the longest fast?
Longest one, well, I'll just put this out to you. The very first time I did a 10-day water fast, because I had done one day fast, I've done 3-day fasts, you know. And I was at UT Pines when Dr. Agatha Thrash was alive, and I asked her, I said, well, how long can I fast by myself without any problems? She said, if you're in good health, you can do up to 10 days. After that, you would need to be kind of supervised by a doctor. It's the problem is that comes in is when you fast, your body releases liquid. When it releases liquid, it releases minerals. And you can actually, your minerals in your body can deplete. And so then you start feeling very yucky. You can have some major problems if you let that happen. So if you know how to, that electrolyte drink that we
Electrolyte
told
drink.
you about.
That's how we went through 10 days.
That's how we did 10 days.
Still staying hydrated, still feeling great.
Oh, we were bouncing off the walls with energy.
And I drink it every time I drink the water into the middle.
Yes.
Instead of eating, I would drink the electrolyte drink.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
and I was
He was
actually
in the garden out in the sun.
working out in the
100
garden and
degrees.
doing the yard work and everything that I normally do around myself.
It's not for everybody. We've been doing things for a while. But if
No.
you just start,
You have to know
doing
your
it.
condition,
Yeah.
and you have to work with your
Do
body.
you have a question?
Yes, how long can you do it if you have cancer?
Well, There are cancer clinics that have fasted people up to 40 to 60 days. But it's supervised. You know, they're checking their blood levels, they're giving them minerals, they're you know, IV fluids and things like that. If they need it, it's there for if they need it. The longest fast that was ever done was for 384 days. There was a man in Scotland, I believe. He was over 400 pounds, and he got down to 180. He had no negative effects. He was followed by a doctor. So we shouldn't be afraid of these things, and I would just say this, just like I said earlier about the natural remedies. We are getting into a time in Earth's history that we may not have something to eat. What are we going to do if there's nothing to eat? Are we going to say, I have to eat, I'll take the mark of the beast? I mean, for real. What happened during Katrina? Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
People didn't have food. They went crazy. I mean, in all these other different scenarios with weather, and people didn't have access to stores and food and that kind of stuff, people go crazy. So, you know, what is going to keep us from doing the same thing unless we are established in the truth, settled in the truth, and we have experienced, like Paul said, I know how to be in want and how to abound. We have to learn those things for ourselves, and then we will be ready when those times come. So,
Also, I advise everybody, there is a thing that is sitting just above your shoulders. Right here is a round thing. Inside of it is another piece of gray matter that's in there. That's called your head and your brain. Right? Use it. Right? This is not a squash up here. So when you're going to be doing fasting, when you're going to be taking in amounts of water, no matter what it is you're doing, remember that all we're supposed to do is to be to the glory of the Lord, right? So that if it is not going to benefit our body in a positive manner, then we want to abstain from doing so. That's the bottom line. Just
you look like you lost
that
20
nugget.
years. So that's an easy thing to do. Yeah. So like you said, let's get around to it. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
How many days can a cancer patient do the fast at home?
Well, I would say probably start with 10 days. And it depends, because the person that has cancer, they're weak. Their body, their constitution is weak. And it different stages of cancer. If you're just stage 1, you just got diagnosed, you have a very small, tumor, those kind of things, and you're willing to make some changes with your diet and lifestyle, and you're relatively healthy, you can probably do it for maybe 10 to 15 days. But, and I know people that do it up to 21 days without supervision. But I don't want to just throw that out there and say, okay, you can go do that, because it's different for everybody. And you have to, basically be your own doctor and feel it out for yourself. Start slow. But at our center, with our cancer patients, we start with a 2-week juice fast. So only juices, vegetable juices for 2 weeks. We find that that's easier for people to get a hold, get a handle on first. And then, maybe if they're willing, we can do some water fasting. But that is really good for them, because they're not only getting the benefits of fasting, but they're also feeding their body with super nutrition. And that's what the body needs to heal.
What would you do with stage 4?
It just depends. Yeah, it just depends. If you have somebody in mind, you can talk to me later or call. Yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah.
Do you work with people that are trying to put something in the
Yeah.
box?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. No. Yeah.
I have not seen you use any hot and cold treatment. So I'm going to ask you this question. I have neuropathy in my feet because of diabetic. So what I do is hot water into one cup, cold water for 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
swamp.
Yeah,
And all that does is just increase the circulation and it keeps my neuropathy away. If I begin to feel funny in my feet, I say, okay, it's time to do this treatment.
right.
That's a really good treatment.
Yeah, so that's called a contrast bath.
Yes.
So you can do it the way you did it. She basically said 1 foot in hot water, 1 foot in cold, and then switch. But you can do both feet in the hot water and then for 3 minutes and then both feet in the cold water for 30 seconds. But like you said, whatever works for you, it's just going to increase circulation to the areas that are in the water when you're doing it back and forth.
The vessel, the hot water makes the vessels go like this. The cold water opens it up. So that just increases the circulation.
No, it's the opposite. Hot water opens, cold water closes. Yeah, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's along that line.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna let you finish Miss Pam with that
Okay.
water across her
Okay,
feet.
okay.
And
You ready?
I'm gonna speak of something else that you can do while she was just speaking of hot and cold. There's something that you can do very easily. And you can use a bag of frozen vegetables from your freezer, an ice bag, anything you have with the ice for cold. I'm just going to use these 2 cloths to give you an example. But what you would want to do is put cold, say you have a headache or an injury in the neck, from the neck up, cold
You ready?
on the head, hot on the neck.
No.
You do that for 2 minutes and then switch.
It could be.
Now you're putting the cold on the neck,
And then if you can just
putting the
put your
hot
feet
up on the head.
Yeah.
Do that for 3 minutes and switch back. And if you continue switching that back and forth,
Like doing communion.
what you're doing again is bringing in and out fresh blood into the area, and with a head cold, headaches, any type of injury within the head, you can get tremendous results just by doing this switch. So you want hot on the back, cold on the front, and then switch. And back and forth, three reverses, and then you can dry off. It will, actually, bring that
A
in.
little bit.
When you do that, you actually, some people actually will get a little lightheaded, and that is because you're bringing the oxygen into the area. It works really well.
Okay, let's give a hand to Ms. Pam. She's got these. Now, when you do these kind of treatments, you want to make sure you're hydrated, so she probably needs to drink some water afterwards because you do a little bit of sweating. If you're in there longer, you'll sweat, like you'll really sweat. But she wasn't in there for, but maybe 15 minutes. Okay, so, yeah, so it's 10:57, there's 3 minutes until lunch. So real quick, I'm just going to show you something that I have here. This is called a fomentation pad, and you'll see on the last page, on your hydrotherapy or the next to last page, talks about fomentations. This one got burned. So these are really good because they hold in the water and the heat really well. And the way that we use these is we will soak them with water and make sure you wring most of the water out, put it in a grocery bag, and then put it in the microwave and heat it up. And you'll see, we don't have time to do all the procedure and everything, but I just wanted to show you that there are things available like this. If you don't have this, just use a towel. You can use whatever will soak up water and can be heated in the microwave. But I just happen to have a whole kit of hydrotherapy pads and different things. So you can actually, I have access to somebody that makes them. So if you are interested, you can contact us and just email me and let me know that you're interested, and I can get you in contact with the person. There's not too many people making them anymore. You have to have a heavy-duty sewing machine. You have to have the linen cloth, the cotton batting, and all that. It's a big deal, and it's not cheap. But they're really nice. They'll keep forever, really. Okay, one more question.
I can testify that fomentation process, we live in Mississippi, many people don't know something down in the road. And you can breathe, and we get hot and cold comfort.
basically what we use it for is chest congestion, pneumonia, or if somebody has back pain, you know, this core area is what we do the hot and cold with, as far as pads go, fomentation. It's called a general revulsive is what it's really called, but in your literature it says fomentation. So just read up on these things. Like I said, we have access, or we're affiliate with the Light program through Wildwood. If you would like to go through their program and get a more intense training, they give you up to a year to go through the program, the classes, and we can get you a discount for it. We can get you a free book to go with it that doesn't usually come with it. So if you're interested, you can just contact us on our business card, go to our website, and just send us an email, and we can get that to you.
Yeah, and if you contact us, if you're interested in the light training, like she said, we will give you the code where you can actually log in with the coupon code to get the discount. There's a free book that comes with it, and then I'm willing to make a special deal with this church. If you would contact us and let us know the Cleburne offer, we'll have $25 worth of our products available for you as well.
Yeah. Because we really want to encourage people to get trained. We need more people. We need them everywhere. We just need to be doing this work so, you know, more souls are won and we can go home. So anyways, that's the end of our presentation, and I hope that you have learned a lot of things, and we're going to have a word of prayer to close out with, and you want to pray for the youth as well.
Let us pray for blessing. Father God, again, we thank you for the opportunity to share with our brothers and sisters here in this church. And we just ask, Father, that you would help each one to use the things that were learned today to your honor and glory, that we might be able to help those who are in need. We might be able to show the love of Christ to those who are around us, and that you might be able, through the work that we're doing with others, not only to bring them to the kingdom, but to purify and perfect our character in Christ Jesus. And in the end, Father, we ask that we would all be able to hold hands together one day around that throne so that we can share all the wonderful stories of what you have done through such simple remedies as these. And we ask now, Father, as we close from this presentation, that you would bless the food we are about to partake and be with each and every one that may depart, and keep us until the next appointed hours in Jesus' name.